Almost students installed it. So let's start. I will share my screen. Qt is opening. Okay. Started it. You also start Qt on your system. Okay. It is in lobby. Yeah, I started Qt on my system. So today what we will do, we'll create a simple pixel program first. Okay. Before that, I will tell you how to create a new project. Okay. So file, new file or project. I hope you all are doing with me. Fine. If somebody is lagging in between, then they can ask. Okay. So by default in application, you have to select the Qt widget applications. Why Qt widget applications? Because we are going to build UI. Okay. To build UI, the different widgets are required, like labels, text edit, then the form, all these things are required. So that's why Qt widget applications. Then there is a Qt console application is also there. So it is used for the simple C++ coding. Qt console application. Fine. So choose that. Then give some name to your project. Let's say I am creating a project for Pixel. So whatever workspace you want to choose, you can choose with the help of browse option. Okay, you can create a folder first in the directory C or D drive. Then you can choose that folder, or you can use the default project location as well. There is no problem. Fine. So I gave name here Pixel. Next, if you install the Qt, then here is a kit. Desktop Qt 5.11.1 MinGW 32-bit. Okay. So similarly, you may have a Qt different version and MinGW either a 64-bit or a 34-bit. Sorry, 32-bit. Sorry. So that you can choose. By default, it is selected. Click next. If it is not there in your system, that means the Qt is not properly installed. Okay. Do remember. Next. Then here you can specify the class name. By default, class name is provided as a main window only. But if you want to specify some different name, you can do that. If you change class name for your project, then header file also get changed and it will become pixel.h now. Similarly, the source file which get created is pixel.cpp. There is one header file get created along with your class name and one source file, that is pixel.cpp. and one more form file is there, that is UI. Okay, so click on next. Here if you observe in Qt, whatever you are doing, that is a single inheritance, that your class name will act as a child class, and there is a Q main window base class for your class. Fine. Whatever classes in Qt will start, that will start always with the capital Q. Next, these are the files listed over here in your pixel folder. Fine. Pixel.pro, pro stands for project, pixel.cpp, two .cpp files are there, main.cpp and your own file name .cpp, .h file, .ui file and .pro file. If you want to open your existing project, you can choose this pixel.pro file over here. Finish. Okay. Here is a new project created. Fine. It will take some time to create a project. Yes. Now it get created, project get created. So now if you observe, this is the header folder. Three folders are created over here: headers, sources, and forms. If you expand the forms folder, there is a UI, pixel.ui file. Okay. So whether there is any error or not in the project, you can check it in the initial level itself. So here is a hammer which you can use for the compilation purpose, or to build a project you can use this hammer. If I click this at the right bottom, it will show me whether it built properly or not. On what basis you can decide that? If it gives a green signal, then definitely there are no errors in your code. And if it is red, that means some errors are there in your code. So if you observe here, the project get compiled properly. And when you run your code, if you run your code, one window will appear. See, this is the pixel window. By default, name to a window is your project name, or the .cpp file which you have created. It get name of that. Fine. So everyone completed this much part. Then I will explain the next part. Yes. Shall I move ahead? Hmm?
Yes,
Everyone,
ma'am.
yes, created new project. Okay. Then let's go file by file. Okay. Under the headers folder, there is a pixel.h file. So what it tells you. Okay. So whenever you say .h file, only declarations are there. No definitions are provided in .h file. Like here, class pixel, which you have created, then here is a colon. I hope you know this syntax. This is the inheritance syntax, which we saw while creating a project, right? This is your class pixel, which is inheriting all the features from Q main window. Whatever data members or member functions are there, which are publicly defined or by protected way, these are defined in the class, you can access for your class. Okay. Then there is a constructor for class, your class, only declaration, and here is a destructor for class, whatever you have created. Under the private access specifier, there is a UI pointer. okay, which actually points to your form. This is your form, okay, the form which you have created while creating the project. Fine. So this is about .h file, one constructor and one destructor, which is already defined in a class, and one pointer which will point to the objects which we are going to put on a form. Fine. Then there is a main.cpp. Okay. In main.cpp, if you are dealing with the console application, you can use this file. Only one .cpp file get created if you create a console application. So why any other .cpp file is required? Basically, whatever contents we are going to or whatever widgets we are going to put on a UI form, these get access with the help of pixel.cpp. Okay, that's why the another .cpp file is needed over here. So in main.cpp, if you observe, it takes the command line argument. Okay, command line argument you will learn in a C++ course. At the time of when you will start file, that time you can see the command line arguments. Fine. Then Q application is a class, as you can observe. Okay, Q capital, A capital. It takes or it creates object for the class, parameterized object you can say, or a constructor for a class. And here is a object for pixel class which I have created, right? If you comment this w.show, then it won't display the file, the window over here. It will get built properly, but nothing will appear. So this is compulsory. W.show is compulsory. And your Q application class is going to execute your pixel class basically. Okay, so whatever the pixel W object get created, it is between these two sentences basically. Okay, or two statements. So we are not going to do anything in main.cpp. Remember, in case of Qt, if you are doing a C++ code, then you have to write your code here itself in main.cpp. So let's go to the pixel.cpp. So whatever I declared in pixel.h, like constructor is there and destructor is there. These definitions are provided in a .cpp file. This is the definition for constructor, okay, and this is the definition for destructor. So these are the default things. When you create the project, it will appear. UI is a pointer and setup UI is a method which is must. So if you want to declare something in a constructor, you have to declare below this. Okay, first you need to set up the UI. This is about the pixel. Okay, pixel.cpp. Now, always when you are going to start a CG code, first you need to create a form, okay, or create your UI. From on this UI, by default, first you have to take a label. This is must. Okay, the one label here I am putting, drag and drop the label, text label on a form. Then set the geometry option, which is at the right bottom in a yellow color. Look at my mouse pointer. So geometry, while setting the geometry, set x to 0 and y to 0, compulsory. This is compulsory. Okay. Then width, you can set some width to your label. Let's say here I am setting 500, and similarly height you have to set for the label. So now if you observe, the label size get changed over here. Okay, width and height for the label get changed over here. So I want to draw one pixel on a form, so I will take a button, push button. Okay, and I can rename it by double clicking the button, like let's say pixel. I want to draw a pixel, so I renamed it as a pixel. So this is about UI. Any doubt over here in the UI? Mm?
No, ma'am.
No doubt. Okay. So I hope everyone created UI. Now this is the label on which I am going to put one image. Why image is required? Okay. Before that, uh, right click on a button. Then there is an option, go to slot. By default, it is clicked. Say OK. If you observe, the definition get created in pixel.cpp. Okay. In pixel.h, if you observe, the declaration get created automatically. Okay. So here in pixel.cpp, globally, you have to declare one image. I will tell you the purpose of image. Again, it's a built-in class. So first letter is capital Q. Again, the second letter is capital Q image. For that, you are having object. In it takes three parameters basically, which are those: width, height. I set width and height to label, right? Which is there on pixel.ui. So same height and width here as well I am setting for the image. Fine. Then RGB, uh, some syntax miss. Just a minute, I will check the syntax. There is a format basically which you have to write. Yeah, it's QImage format. QImage scope resolution. Okay. QImage scope resolution format. So there are so many formats available. We are going to use format underscore RGB 888. What it means? RGB is basically a color module, okay, which you will learn in your theory sessions. So R stands for red, G stands for green, and B stands for blue. Each pixel is carrying 8 bits. Okay, that means 2 raised to 8 for R, 2 raised to 8 for G, and 2 raised to 8 for B. So color range will vary from 0 to 255. 2 raised to 8 is total 256 basically, but we are starting from 0. That's why the color range will vary from 0 to 255. Okay, 0 stands for if you put R value 0, G value 0, B value 0, then it is a black color. If you set R value 255, G value 255, B value 255, then it's a white color. Okay. And if you set 255, comma 0, comma 0, then it's a red color basically. Fine. So this is the range. Now this image I am going to set on my label. Okay, so let's check it out how to set it, because the built-in set pixel function is available for a QImage class. It is not available for the label which we have put on the form. Okay, it is not available for that. That's why what we need to do on, let's say this is your image in Paint. I will show you. This is your label basically. Okay, and on this label we are going to put a image. Okay, so this is your image. Here on the label we are going to put the image. So how to access the components on the UI form? So for that purpose pointer is provided, right? So this statement must be there before end of a function. Then here you can observe the label name is label itself. And for that you are having a class which is built-in class in Qt, that is Q label. Okay, Q label. So here in pixel.cpp UI label. Okay, so set label set pixmap. Yeah, set pixmap. Pixmap is a memory basically, okay, which stores the intensity values in color format. And there is one more type of memory, that is the bitmap, which stores basically black and white color. Okay, that means only two values are there. This is the label. Okay, you save it and compile it. Save all. Okay, it is showing no member named. Yeah, now it is, the error has gone. So now the label, on a label we have put the image which I have taken here already. Fine. Let's draw a pixel now. For drawing a pixel, I will image dot. Okay, how you access the methods or the member functions from the class with the help of object, right? Image dot set pixel. Yes, this is the function. Set pixel takes three parameters basically. Okay, one is a at which position you want to display a pixel. Like here, this is your image, and at particular position you want to display a pixel. Okay, let's say this is a pixel. So this position you have to put in a set pixel. Let's say 50 comma 50 or 100 comma 100. Wherever you want to plot the pixel, you can plot it. Third parameter indicates the color value for a pixel. Which color you want to give to your pixel? So that I will specify here. For that again a built-in function is available, QRGB. Let's say I want to set a white color to my pixel. Okay, so this is the set pixel method which belongs to the QImage class. That's why we need to put a image on a label. Fine. So let's check it out. Compile your code. Build properly. There are no errors. If you run the code. After clicking the button, see, will you be able to observe the pixel? All of you, the pixel got drawn at position 50, 50. Screen works on the fourth quadrant. Okay, it varies. X varies from left to right, and y values varies from top to bottom. Remember this in case of screen. Okay, so this is the 50-50 position where the pixel get drawn. Done, everyone? Any doubt here in a pixel drawing? Yes? Huh? Go ahead and ask. You can unmute yourself and ask.
Yes, ma'am. I was saying you set the color is 255, 255, 255. Yes.
It's a
So,
white color, huh? Yes?
okay. So how do
Huh.
we exactly know what are the codes for colors?
0 to 255 range. Anything you can provide. Let's say here if I provide 0, 128, randomly you choose the value, whatever you want. There is no restriction as such. Okay.
And
The
the
first
colors will come
value
according to the
indicates
computation.
red color. Yes, it will compute the color. Okay.
Okay.
And if you run the code now, the pixel will get a something different color now. Okay.
Okay.
Just for the visualization purpose, I put white color for a pixel. But now the color is changed here.
Okay. Okay. Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
welcome. Next, any other doubt over here? Yes, Rohin, want to ask something?
No, ma'am, I accidentally did that.
Okay, fine. Then now we will take the input from user side. Here I gave the fixed values. Okay, but whatever position I want, I should be able to display a pixel. Okay, that is the user choice. So currently I am keeping it white color only so that you can view it properly. So let's take the values from user side. For that purpose, I will take two more labels. This is the first label. If you are going to put the label, second or third label on a form, don't put on this label because image is already there on a label. Okay, the first label which you put on the form, on that label you are going to set the image. So don't put anything on that label. Okay, either you can put uh, at downside or at the right side, doesn't matter. Okay, let's say X is a pixel name, label name. I'm just copy pasting it instead of drag and drop. This is my y value, X and Y. Similarly, to get the input from user side, I need a text edit. So I will again drag and drop the text edit. So this is the first text edit. Similarly, I will copy paste it. Y in front of Y. So you can rename it if you want. That is the X text field. Whatever you say, uh, it will rename according to that. Okay, this is text edit too. So here the name appears for the text edit. Okay, q text edit is a class. For that, text edit is a object name. Again, here it is text edit 2. Here if you click on X, it's labeled 2. If you click on Y, it's labeled 3, like this. Okay, and here is our pixel button. Now how to take these inputs? Here in a method. So whatever on the form, as I said, we are accessing with the help of UI pointer. So UI text edit. Okay, first text edit. The value which you are going to put in a text field, that is in a string format. Okay, but if you have observed, whatever value we are going to give is in the integer format, right? So I need to convert that string into the integer format. So for that purpose, again I am having a method, built-in method to plain text dot to int. Okay, text edit name is not there. Sometimes the error will get removed automatically when you compile your code. Okay, so this input I am going to store somewhere, let's say int x1 comma y1, right? X1 is equal to, and similarly y1 is equal to UI text edit. Now it's a text edit 2 to plain text. It will appear in the drop down. Okay, to int. So there are different format: to int, to float, to double. So I converted my input, string input, into the integer format with the help of to int function. And whatever input now user is going to give, that I will assign here for the set pixel. It's a x1 y1. Okay, let's run the code now. It built properly, no errors. Let's say user want to display at 100 position. Click on a pixel button, the pixel get displayed here. If you want to change the position, let's say 200, 200, again you click on the pixel, the position again will get changed. Okay, so this is the input from user side. Any doubt over here in the pixel code? Any difficulty?
Ma'am,
Hmm.
ma'am, where should we initialize image img that initially we used
Globally.
image.setPixel method?
Yes, globally you have to declare it. Below two hash includes. Below two
Okay.
hash includes. Okay. Hmm. Any other doubt over here in a pixel assignment? Now the same pixel we will draw with the help of a function. Okay. We are going to call a function from this function. Okay. The on push button function is already created when I am clicking on the button, but I want to create my own function. Let's create it. Void, it's a press. Any function name you can give by your choice. In .h file, declaration is compulsory in .h file. If you want a definition in .cpp file, right click on press. There is a refactor option. Refactor option. Okay. Add definition in pixel.cpp. Okay. Add definition in pixel.cpp. So the definition get added in pixel.cpp. Sometimes you know that option you were not able to see, so don't get panic at that time. You can write with the help of keyboard. Doesn't matter. Okay, write it with the help of keyboard. You know already the syntax in C++. Return type for a function, class name, as I am defining the function outside the class. So the syntax is return type, class name, scope resolution, and the function name. And if there are any parameters for a function, you can pass those parameters. Let's say I want to pass these x1 y1 values over here, so I will put it here int comma int. Okay, this is the declaration. And in .cpp as well, I will receive the values in, let's say, a comma int b. Fine. And here I will call the function press, calling the function, pass the value x1 comma y1. Fine. You call the function. Here I will put the statement for drawing the pixel. It's not x1 now, it's a b. Okay. And if you run the code again, and give some values randomly. Okay, my image is of 500 by 500, so I will provide the value as 250 and 250, that is at the center. And if I put the pixel, this is the pixel. Okay, but now I am executing with the help of function. I wrote my own function, the press function. Okay, this statement some important concepts which you have to remember at the time of practical as well. Okay, when you create a UI, don't forget to set the geometry for first label which you are going to put on a form. Don't forget to set geometry. For rest all components, no need to set a geometry option. Okay, it is not needed. Only for the big label which you are going to put on the form, for that only it is needed to set the geometry. Second thing, you need to define or declare the image globally below two hash includes. This is the second important thing. And third thing, don't forget to write this statement, that is we are assigning the image basically to label. If you don't do that, and if you run the code, okay, sometimes you forgot to write that code, and if you click here, nothing is happening, right? Nothing is happening. So don't forget this statement at the end of a function. Okay, so I hope there is no doubt in pixel, or is there any doubt? You can ask then. Hmm? Yes, any
Ma'am, what
doubt
if
over?
we give floating points as input?
Huh. Pixel always take integer. Okay, uh, pixels are not in a float format. How? I will tell you that as well. Okay, so pixel is basically a grid. Let's understand it. What is pixel? Grid I am drawing here. Like this, you can draw a number of lines. Hmm. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. So here single cell indicates a pixel. Okay, let's say my point is 1.8 and let's say 3.2. Okay, floating point. You asked about the floating point, right? Then this is represented with the help of pixel 1 comma 3. If I write 1 point say 2 and 3.9, any number you can write. Okay, 2 2 3 like that. So it is again represented by a pixel 1 comma 3. So pixel contains n number of points basically. Single cell, this cell over here contains n number of points. So pixel is always in an integer format. It is not a floating point. It is not a floating point. Yes, even when we measure a resolution for a screen, it is generally 600 by 800, 150 by 200, right? Yes, again an integer format, right? We never measure in terms of floats, the megapixels or the pixels, your camera resolution. Agree? Yes, understood the concept.
Ma'am, why do we take the floor value instead of rounding the value?
The floor value is used in the while drawing the line. The DDA algorithm uses Kaivalya floor values. Okay, so it depends on the algorithm basically. So generally whatever I told, that is for the line algorithm, the 1 comma 3 and the another one. Bresenham line, if you observe it, didn't deal with basically floating point values. It only takes the integer values. So it depends on the algorithm, Kaivalya. There is
Yes,
as
ma'am. I
such.
meant like
Uh,
why do we universally in that algorithm only why we use the floor value?
that is the designed algorithm by some scientist, Kaivalya. So they have used they rounded the value to floor only. So if you round it to ceiling value, then you need to in that case define your own algorithm. That will be a
Okay.
change in algorithm then, Kaivalya. Okay, every algorithm has some limitation or has some advantages. Agree? So any other doubt over here? So let's
Hello, ma'am.
start with the hmm.
Ma'am, can you just please re-explain that declaration point in pixel.h? I get some confusion.
Where you can specify me uh, which point shall I need to explain again? You tell me, or the whole thing.
Where you declare that pixel
Uh,
trace from that I get confused.
where I declared pixel
Trace.
praise. Okay, the praise function. Oh, praise function here I declare in dot h, pixel dot h. This is my declaration. This is my declaration. Below the push button itself, I declared it under the slots. There is a slots and signals concept in case of Qt. So slot means where you are going to put your code, and signal means what is going to happen after the execution of the code.
Okay,
Understood?
ma'am.
Yes. Praise you need to put
Yes,
in
ma'am.
the dot h declaration. Okay. So let's start with the simple algorithm, that is the line algorithm. Okay. As you know, all of you, line is having 2 points, okay, or 2 pixels basically. Don't say point, it's a pixel. Start point start pixel and end pixel. So here I will just rename the label. I will say it's a x1. Here it is y1. Similarly, I can take two more labels, x2 and y2. Okay. The same text edit. Okay, this is my UI now. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. And now I will rename from pixel to, let's say, line. I want to draw a line now. Fine. Go to slot. Okay, click button is there already. Now I need four inputs, X1, Y1, X2, and Y2. One algorithm I will show you, another you can implement by your own. Fine. So same way you can take the inputs, just copy paste, but don't forget to change the text edit over here. It's _3. Don't mismatch this text edit _4. Okay, you can cross check here. This is text edit _3. This is text edit _4. Don't mismatch these labels, okay, and text edit with each other. Now I will just rename the function x2 and here it is y2. Let's say DDA function I will write here now, which takes 4 argument. Input you are going to provide in the integer format, that is the pixels only. Fine. Then refactor, add definition in pixel. Okay, I will remove this brace now because I changed that function only. Here call DDA, which takes the 4 input x1, y1, x2, y2. Fine. Take here x1, y1, x2, and y2. The algorithm, I hope you know the algorithm. Fine. First you need to calculate dx, dy. So everything is float in case of DDA, digital differential analyzer, right? Everything is float. Dx, dy. Okay. Length is needed. Then anything else? X increment you can take. Y increment you can take. Okay. Everything is in float in case of DDA. Remember. Okay. Then calculate the value of dx. Dx is equal to x2 minus x1. Similarly, calculate the value for dy. Y2 minus y1. Compare. Length is never negative. Okay, that's why I am going to use the absolute function dx is whether greater than or equal to absolute of dy. And then you can say length is equal to absolute of dx. Whatever is the greater, you need to put it as a length. Else, length is equal to dy. Okay. The length is decided now. So calculate x increment is equal to dx divided by length. Okay, I hope you already know the algorithm. Y increment is equal to dy divided by length.
Ma'am, actually, some of us are from IT and ENTC, so we don't have QT, so we don't know the algorithm.
Okay. Uh, Line algorithm.
No, ma'am, no, we don't have any idea because this is our first lecture of QT.
Okay. Fine. Okay, I will explain you the algorithm in short then. DDA line algorithm. You don't have CG, IT students? Yes?
No, ma'am, not for the first sem. It's for the second sem.
Okay, it's for the second sem. Fine. So, while drawing a line, right, we have taken the first pixel and the last pixel. Let's consider you have to draw the line from this particular pixel. It is the start and this is your ending pixel. You can say it's a line segment. Okay, so intermediate points you need to go on calculate. Fine. So this is the job for line algorithm. So what DDA will suggest you that while calculating the intermediate point in either direction, you should move by 1 unit. Okay, either in the x direction or in a y direction. You should move by 1 unit. So consider currently I am having a pixel, let's say 2, 3. So here I will compare my ending pixel is, let's say, 5, 8. Anything you can take. These are the inputs which I am going to take from the user side. Then slope is there for a line. Okay, slope is nothing but dy divided by dx, right? So 5 minus 2 is dx value is 3. So length is never negative, you know that. So we are taking the absolute values over here basically. In this case length is already positive, but sometimes you need to draw a line from 5 8 to 2 3 as well. Either you can move from left to right, okay, or from right to left. By anyhow you can draw a line, right? There is no issue in that. But for this case, if you observe, it's 2 minus 5, which gives you minus 3. I don't want this minus 3 value, so I made it absolute of minus 3 is nothing but 3, positive value only. Fine. So that's why absolute is needed over here. Then dy is equal to, value for dy is 8 minus 3, that is 5. 8 minus 3, that is 5. So which value is greater? I will compare between these two values. So here dy is greater than dx. So my length will be dy. Okay, by some value I need to increment x, by some value I need to increment y value as well, right? So that is nothing but x increment and y increment. How to calculate x increment value? So while calculating the x increment value, length is already done now. Length is equal to 5, length is equal to dy is equal to 5. So to calculate x increment, I will choose dx divided by length. So that means 3 divided by 5, and y increment will be dy divided by length. So in which direction I am going to move in by 1 unit? All the time in y direction, because it is giving me 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Okay. So in either x direction or along with the y direction, you have to increment by 1, and the corresponding value of other coordinate you have to calculate. So this is my first pixel, basically 2 and 3. This is my first pixel, right? So I now know that I need to increment x by 0.6 and y by 1. So next value which I am going to get here, 2.6. Add that 0.6 to the starting value. Then here I will get 4. And while plotting the value, how DDA line algorithm plots the value, basically it takes the floor values. Okay, it takes the floor values. So first pixel here which get plotted is 2, 3. That is the starting pixel. Next pixel again you will observe that it's 2, 4. Floor value for 2.6 is 2 only. And pixels always get plotted in the integer format only. That's the reason. Okay. Now again increment x by 0.6. Now it will become 3.2. Okay. Check the addition value. Okay. If I am wrong somewhere, then you can say me. And it's 5. Y is always going to increment by 1. So it will plot 3, 5 like this. Then next value is 3.2, 3.8, and here it is 6. So 3, 6 get plotted. What was my last point? Yes, 5, 8, I think, right? 5, 8. I am going to move up to the length, fine. So here again add 0.6. So it's 4.4. Then here it is 7. Okay, 4, 7. Then here it is again 5. Yes, and here it is 8. So it becomes 5, 8. Okay. So if you start I is equal to 1, then you should move from I less than or equal to length. If you start I is equal to 0, then you should move I less than length directly. Okay. So let's consider I value will start with 0. Then less than length means 4, right? First pixel you need to plot as it is. Then the I value get increment here. I is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, first pixel you have to plot it as it is. So, okay, you understood the algorithm, what DDA algorithm suggests. In either direction you have to move by 1. And the corresponding value you have to calculate. Understood? In brief, I explained actually. These are the intermediate pixels basically, which we have calculated based on the starting pixel and ending pixel. Got it or not? No response. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Who asked me question? Somebody asked me the question from IT, right? Huh? Tell me whether you understood it or not, the algorithm.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh? Yes, you understood. So if you are moving from right to left, then you need to go on subtracting. Okay, like you are moving from 5, 8 to 2, 3. In that case, you need to subtract the values. So in that case, x increment will be negative value, y increment will be negative value.
Ma'am,
Huh?
ma'am,
Yes.
for second value there should be 3 comma 4, no, because it's 2.6.
Here, yeah, but DDA takes the floor values. DDA won't take the seal values. Okay, it
Okay,
takes
ma'am.
the floor values. That's why it's 2 comma 4. That's the reason.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So in this way the algorithm works. So same thing I implemented here. First I calculated the value of dx, then I calculated the value of dy, then I compared two values over here, which one is greater, and that I assigned to the length. Okay. Then I calculated x increment depend on the length and y increment depend on the length again. Okay. So I will initialize int I is equal to 0. Without incrementing the I value, you have to plot the first value. I should move less than length as I have taken it 0. Okay. Then image dot set pixel. Okay. Assign the values. So I will store the first pixel here itself. X is equal to x1 and y is equal to y1. Okay, I just stored the values of x1 and y1, that is the starting pixel into x and y. Okay, don't take integer, take it float. I will declare it above only. Why float? Because it is giving me float values. Okay, comma x y. Image dot set pixel x comma y comma some color value you can give here, RGB. Let's say I will draw white line only, that will be better because it's visible properly. I will tell you how to choose color from user side, that also I will explain. Okay, then first pixel is plotted. Increment the x value, x is equal to x plus x increment. Okay, y is equal to y plus y increment. Then finally don't forget to increment I value. Okay, so this is your algorithm. Check it out whether it works or not. Implicit conversion happened here. Okay, because x and y are float basically, right? But as I told you, okay, the floating point to integer while plotting the value, it is showing the value conversion. Okay, so if you don't want implicit conversion, then you can typecast it. Okay, this is type conversion basically. Let's run the code. There are no errors. Let's say I will draw a slanted line from 50, 50. In both ways we will see to 100, 100. Okay, if I click on line, the line get drawn. Yes. Okay, line get drawn properly. In reverse fashion, check it out whether the line will get drawn or not. Let's say from 250, 250, I will draw a line. to let's say 150. Line. Yes, line get drawn again. So in both cases it is working properly. Now consider I want to make a square. Okay. So for that you can put the coordinates on notebook, okay, and draw a square. Let's say we will start from 50 50. So it's a vertical line or a horizontal line if you want to draw from 50 50 to 150. Only x changed here in this case. Y will be as it is because I want to draw a horizontal line. So the line get drawn like this. Now another line from 50 50 to let's say I want to draw a vertical line now. 50 100 50 100. The line get drawn. Okay. Now from 50 100 again I want to draw a horizontal line. So in that case y will be as it is, x you need to change only. So this is the line. Okay. Are you getting it, all of you? Yes. So from 100 100, let's say I want to draw a line. This is the so the square get drawn. Similarly, you can draw different figures or the diagrams with the help of line algorithm and with the help of circle algorithm as well. We will see the circle algorithm as well. So any doubt here? In drawing the line? Have you tried at
Ma'am,
your end? Huh.
ma'am,
Yes.
to practice it and our UT is going on. So can we stop now?
Okay. No problem. No issue. So, but up till this point, any doubt you have? Any doubt? Next time I will cover circle. There is no issue. So with the help of circle and line, you can draw again the different diagrams.
Okay, ma'am.
So any doubt here? Whatever we have seen, do you have any doubt here? Yes, any doubt? You will do some practice then.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. All of you mail you as your unit test is going on. Fine, no issue. You mail you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.